Hello. In this clip from our Justia webinar, Empowering Women in Family Law Strategies for Success, Anna Blood shares her final thoughts and answers questions regarding the role of women in family law. If you want to see more Justia videos on law practice and legal marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We can now move on to audience questions. We have Anna here with us today. Thanks for joining. Okay, so if you have any questions for Anna today that you'd like to ask, please feel free to submit them through that Q&A button in the control panel at the bottom of your screen. It looks like we already have a few questions.
Okay.
So one of our first questions was, in the language of your presentation, you talk a lot about starting your firm and you say we. Did you have a partner when you were starting out, or were you on your own? What was that process like?
No, it was just me. So one-man band, I literally rented a room and it was just me, no staff. I hired my first employee definitely within my first year, but I think at first she was just, I had a couple people that were like part-time. When I say we, I just mean kind of my team, because I've always looked at everybody as like my fur family, but no, it was just me. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Another question we have, what steps do you think that women can take to negotiate equitable compensation or advancement opportunities in more traditionally male-dominated fields?
So I guess I have a follow-up question to that. Is that when you're working for a firm?
It doesn't specify here, but I would assume so, yes.
Okay. Wow. Well, I guess if you're in family law specifically, I think that's a really competitive field. So I think women have a really good advantage in that. You know, if you, at least in my market, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I know everybody on here is, y'all are all over the country, but at least here, it's really competitive for good attorneys that do family law. So I think, if you're good at what you do and you know that like you have courtroom experience or you've, just that you have experience, I think you can, basically demand whatever the market rate is. I mean, any good firm is going to pay you what you're worth. So what I would say is, don't settle for a firm that's not willing to pay you what you're worth. Look around. I may have said this when I was doing the recording, but that's part of the reason why I went on my own, was because at the time the market was really bad, like 10 years ago. And so a lot of it was necessity. I'm like, okay, I mean, attorneys, I was making like $30,000 a year. I'm like, this is crazy. Like I had 2 kids. I can't live like this. So I think just knowing your worth and just demanding that, and just, look for a place that's going to value you.
That's great. Thank you. I love that. Know your worth. What great advice. Okay. Another question we have here is, what are some effective strategies for women to establish themselves as authoritative voices and leaders in the family law community?
I think first you have to know that you are that person, right? So, no one is going to be your cheerleader, your number one cheerleader, except for yourself. So you've got to know in your mind that you're a leader. And then I think surrounding yourself or connecting with, at least, it could be just one person that you feel like exemplifies those leadership qualities that you're aspiring to be, and connect with them. And, like there's other attorneys that, I really look up to. And so I think having just other positive female role models that you can, connect with, or, you may not even know them, and just maybe somebody that I aspire to be like them, just having that in your mind's eye. But yeah, be your number one cheerleader, because nobody's going to have your back like you do. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Another question is, are there any particular resources, networks, support systems that you found specifically helpful as a woman in family law?
That's a hard question. I mean, I think your local chamber, like I think other businesses that aren't necessarily doing what you're doing is the best. Those are the best connections I ever made, people that weren't in my industry, because I mean, y'all all know that it's really competitive in family law. So I think you have to go outside your network to get some of that support. I think, if you're looking for support within the family law network, that's really hard. I mean, I have one friend that she's actually a competitor, but we have that kind of relationship. I mean, I have more than one, but you'll have some of those relationships. But I think, sometimes you have to go outside of your network a little bit. And then as you grow, you rely on your team, like your people that work for you. Those are your, those are your cheerleaders. So I would say start with your local chamber or whatever. I think the chamber's all over the country, I'm sure. So, whatever your local network is, go out there and get involved. I mean, that's how I started. I just went door to door. I joined the chambers. I just started showing up for stuff, join a women's group if you find one, or just put yourself out there.
Thanks for that insight. Another question that we have is about navigating workplace dynamics. So you kind of talked about maybe those more adversarial firms. How would you speak to maybe a woman in that firm who's in that more male-dominated space, or just that more adversarial space, and maybe the gender bias that might come with that?
Yeah. So I definitely think you're going to encounter those no matter what. I think you have to demand, again, demanding your worth. If you've got an attorney, let's say that's an opposing counsel, or even somebody that you're working with that, we see this a lot, an older male that is, maybe disrespectful to one of my, younger attorney females, and I've had this happen to me too, where I've had somebody, another male attorney basically talking down to me, and we were at the courthouse, and I was like, you're not going to talk to me like that. We're not playing this game. You're going to be respectful. So I think you just have to call people out. I mean, I've done that from the beginning, and that person, I promise if you do that, we won't do that again. Or I've had times where I have emailed, if an attorney is really nasty to me or nasty to somebody that works with me, I will just email them and say, you're going to be professional. We are treat each other with respect. This is, just call them out on it. And I think if you're in a toxic work environment, you have to just get out of it. That's my advice. I mean, life is too short to spend time with people that are going to treat you that way. And there are a million firms out there. I promise you can find somewhere that is a good group of people. That's another reason why I went on my own too, because I just kind of got so burnt out with the way a lot of firms operated. That can be really, it can be hard to find people, but you can find like-minded people. So I would just say, yeah, don't settle for a not good work environment, and don't be afraid to call people out. So
perfect. Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Anna, for answering all of our questions and your advocacy.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you all so much for listening to me talk for 45 minutes. I had to mute myself. I'm like, oh my God. So thanks. I just can't believe that 50 people wanted to listen to me talk. So thank you so much. And Nina, thank you so much for organizing this. I look forward to discussing this more. And for any women out there, thinking about starting your own business, just stay strong. Stay strong. So if anybody wants to connect with me on LinkedIn or anything, please feel free to message me. I'm happy to connect with anybody that has additional questions. I'm on LinkedIn. Me and Nina are connected. It's just Blood Law. So if y'all want to search me, and feel free to send me a message. I check my LinkedIn.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos on law practice and legal marketing. See you in our next clip.